Square.
Double mint gum. Yo, someone needs to do that. Double mint gum commercial.
Oh, gosh.
All right.
Like the black skin never.
Now we are
Always
live.
fresh, never
Now
frozen.
I have to share it with everybody. I have to share that we're live
Ooh.
with everyone.
Do you want me? Do you guys want me? Gigi, should I just share that same link?
Yes, that'll work just fine if you share that link, I think.
Whoa.
Right.
I mean, now we're live.
Copy text.
Share.
If you're seeing this means that we are live. Swipe up right now. Join us. Let's go.
There we go.
Heck yeah.
So Trey, until we figure out what's going on with you, you're audio only.
Okay.
No, not okay. The world
That's
needs
not
to
okay.
see-
Look how nice he dressed he is.
Damn
It's all right.
And it's not for the whole podcast. It's just because for some
Was
reason
it-
this is going like in and out. Like you're here.
Just,
in and out.
wasn't meant to be.
No, it is meant to be, sir. You don't. Don't you dare.
Meant to be.
My only thought could be that it could be his NDI. I mean, I assume if he doesn't change settings, that shouldn't be a problem. But
Hey,
But
Trey,
that-
give
that
it a
could be-
shot.
that would be
The
blocking,
worst thing
right?
that could happen, Trey, is it fixes itself. Like
Enabled or not enabled?
Yeah, disable it,
Enable.
then enable. Make sure it's enabled.
Got it.
So
But
click
then
it.
disable
Yeah, and
it.
you'll have to do
But
it.
then enable it.
Yeah.
take out his knees and then give his knees back.
Yeah, you gotta do it twice.
Okay. All right.
Poke it in the eyes.
And
And
then
then
say it's
high
sour.
five.
First they're sour, then they're sweet.
Yeah, it's
Sour.
Sour Patch
Sour
Kids.
Patch.
Boom. There we go. All right. So we're live. I let people know we're live.
Hello, darkness, my old
And the
friend.
comments are hilarious. Already people want to know where Trey is. Trey's here.
Oh,
you
yeah,
guys.
Switch.
Belinda says
I
there's
hear
an
it.
echo.
Somewhere
Let
on
me
my
see if I can
phone.
hear it.
Is it somebody possibly?
Is it
The
is
phone?
it just the Cosplay Podcast? What's the name on Twitch?
It's a con culture podcast.
Con Culture Podcast. Con Culture. Ooh.
If I leave the call, would that mess things up?
No, you can leave the call.
Okay.
Come back.
Hold on.
All
Right.
right. I see.
BRB.
I play.
This is fun. Technology is fun.
Okay, I see.
Find out why the echo is. Yeah, we're working out the echo. Don't worry. Thank you, people.
All right,
who
you guys,
know
I-
there's an echo.
I also hopped on the Twitch stream, you guys, so I can see y'all's comments.
Nice.
Nice.
Lucifer, yes, he is here in the
I
flesh.
just-
Hello, you back.
I just
How about now?
added to.
Hello, everyone.
Go.
Good day to
You
you all.
see me?
Now you see, now you don't.
Now you don't.
I mean, I see you.
I see
Is
you.
this? Wasn't that what they did in
Avatar.
Avatar?
I see you.
And they hung their freaking hair tails together.
Ew. Ew.
I feel like Juan's quality is gonna be the best because he's hosting.
Oh, get, jeez, I try.
He's got some good quality on it, that's for sure. Oh, now I hear a little bit of an echo.
Yeah,
Unless someone's playing it out loud, that's why.
That was
I
fun.
am playing it out loud. I'm trying to like fix audio issues.
Hello, Jesse95. How are you today?
All right.
So I just need to make like noise. Will that make me pop up more? If I just made a constant ramble?
I think we're echoing.
I think we're getting the band back together.
We're getting the band back together.
TikTok,
I'm gonna
TikTok.
grab my charger really quick.
Jason Divani was good. Just Jesse, hello. Kaylin, hello.
Hello.
And I love that we can actually see all their comments on the stream. So, yeah. So, in case you're wondering who's providing the awesome sound for this podcast, that is at Jennings Brower on your screens.
What?
We got the twist and turn.
As soon as we went live, the crackhead energy turns on.
Yeah, that's great. We love it. Always good with crackhead energy. Yeah.
Good night, everyone.
Up close on Brittany's hair. That's a good looking shoulder, Brittany. It looks glorious.
I like that shoulder.
Looking
That's
good.
a nice shoulder.
Hey, yo, that's nice.
Hey, Trey, can you do the NDI thing again? Go out of the NDI,
Okay.
then come back in the NDI.
All right, I'll be right back.
Yeah, thanks, man.
The fun thing with technology, it works and then it doesn't when you need it to.
Oh, it was glorious when we were all in the Skype call together, and then we go live, and it goes to this. So we're trying to get Trey back. We'll be trying to get him back the whole show, but I don't want that to take away from the gentleman that we have the honor of interviewing today, Mr. Jennings Brower. Lucifer of TikTok is in your presence. I do, Ken.
Hello, everyone. Do I do this on the Skype screen? Do I seem clear to you guys?
Yes.
Yeah, you're
Okay, I was asking because on the stream, this is a little boxy.
It's a little glitchy.
You're just in Minecraft. You're just playing
Maybe.
Minecraft. The Minecraft filter.
Yeah, it's Minecraft Jennings.
I'm back.
You're back. All
I'm
right.
just over here.
Nothing?
Lucifer's daddy. Hello.
Baloo.
Watch out, here we go. What's up, y'all?
Nice bandwidth. Everybody's good. All right. So now that everybody's starting to kind of pour into the chat, Trey, no, nothing. Ugh,
All right.
breaking my heart.
Okay.
I don't accept this.
Yeah, no, and it's going.
Just picture thick Lucifer, and we'll be good.
Picture the
perfection is what I see. You picture.
the literal. I mean, he's got his head gel. This can't not be on the stream.
Yeah. No, we're gonna be working as we interview because I can do two things at once. I could kill two stones with one.
Multitasking.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's how it goes?
I don't want to brag,
Is
but
that to
that's
say?
how it goes for me, Trey.
Producer
Okay.
paper covers rock.
How do you kill the stones?
No, you kill two stones with one bird. You get the bird.
Have you seen the Sorcerer's Stone, Trey?
This is true. Okay. All right. Yeah. You got it.
But
Jennings answered the question.
when Harry wakes up, Dumbledore says, "We destroyed the stone. You never see the stone get destroyed."
It's like, did he? Is Dumbledore even dead? I feel like this whole thing's been a lie.
Dumbledore's a powerful enough wizard. He gets knocked off the roof of something. He's gonna be fine.
Brush it
That's
off.
You mean to tell me we were lied to the whole time? The
Exactly.
stone was never destroyed.
You don't think that griffin's gonna come flying through and scoop him like, no problem.
Phoenix.
Yes.
Favorite video game? On PS4 currently it's Spider-Man PS4. My favorite video game that's not been topped yet for Switch is Breath of the Wild.
Animal Crossing's a great answer, Jennings. I really agree with that one. That's a good one.
Yeah, you see how I did say that?
I do love Breath of the Wild. I played that on
Breath of the Wild is freaking gorgeous.
Awesome. That's
It's like playing Horizon Zero Dawn on PS4. You just
Oh
it's
my
so
gosh,
beautiful.
I love that game.
So beautiful.
It's so good.
There we go. Now let's get into our Q&A sesh that we have, because not only y'all, but feel free to dump questions in the Twitch. As you can see, your questions on the screen. So that's the great part about the podcast is you will be heard or seen, and if you don't, just spam the chat. Spam it. We'll see it eventually.
Spam it.
Yeah, feel free to spam us to death. Don't worry about it. I don't mind. But yeah, first, we like to start off our interviews with origin stories. So as I'm working on Trey, could you give us your cosplay origin story? Like
100%. So it's funny. It wasn't actually until like a few months ago that I actually put cosplayer in my Instagram bio. Even though my first technical, it's funny. I say my first technical I purposely did it cosplay was 2018 New York Comic Con. It was the first Comic Con I've ever been to And I've been living in New York City since 2017, and I guess I just didn't get tickets in time for the previous year. But being since as long as I can remember, the comic book kid that I was not about to go to a convention and not be in cosplay.
Right?
So the day of, because I got a ticket last minute by somebody who had already left, I was able to run into like the local Macy's, grab a pair of jeans that I thought fit the look of the Young Justice Superboy. I literally bought this shirt at the convention and gelled my hair, and that was my first ever cosplay. I was black loose, and it worked out. It was super simple, but it worked.
That's a heck of a first con to do for your first con ever. How was that?
Oh my gosh, it was exhilarating. It was exhilarating. It's like the only thing I can compare it to is when you're playing live video games and you actually find some squad of people that you didn't maybe day after day you actually want to reconnect with because y'all play that all together. These are my people. Why? Just
Found my tribe.
That's what it felt like. 100% awesome. So this is my first actual cosplay shirt, and I've been doing stuff ever since.
Well, I love that you wore it on our show. Yay!
Boom.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so glad we did, because I know we're working on bringing Trey in, but let me tell you guys, Trey is the better looking Lucifer in this chat.
It's
So-
gonna make it
I'll
real
take
rough for you
Lucifer.
to continue doing Lucifer. He really is.
Coming after the brand.
The brand is in
Big Blue.
shambles right now.
Big Lou. I love that. Oh my god.
Big.
Like, we will get him on here if I have to die trying, but we'll continue on with the Q&A. I know we have
Carol Baskins got a hold of my video.
Carol Baskins, you're gonna blame it on her?
Rub sardine oil all over my camera.
Trey, that's not how you do it, Trey.
Come here, kitty.
I love that whole, that's not how you do it, but if I did do it, fish oil would be how you get it done.
Yeah, it's just, I love that.
It's like, really,
Like,
lady?
you would do that, but if you were to do that, this is how you would do that. Okay, so you're well known on TikTok, and you're well known for doing Lucifer.
Yeah.
So how did you? Were you a fan of the character of the show before, or what kind of?
As far as I can remember, I promise you all, and it's actually funny because me getting into watching Lucifer is very similar to the story that Tom Ellis tells in one of his first interviews when he's talking about getting the role of Lucifer. Because I don't know if you guys know, but Tom Ellis, the actor, his entire family are like Catholic priests. So imagine having that conversation with your family, being like, "Hey, so we had a great breakthrough. I got a star role. However, let's talk about the character, right? So for me, Right. So it's funny. I think it's kind of tough sometimes. I'm not going to dive into religion or anything on this podcast, but I've only met, out of all the cosplayers I've met, one other outspoken Christian cosplayer. And so as like, that little seed in my heart seeing like, man, that Lucifer show looks kind of cool, but even though I doubt Netflix is going to put anything like satanic on their network or whatever, granted, I watched Sabrina, and Sabrina is almost a little bit darker than Lucifer ever is.
I love
By the way.
but it is very dark.
Right? And so I actually didn't watch it for the longest time, but I got on TikTok, and people started putting in my comments, hey, you kind of like Tom Ellis who plays Lucifer, or you look like that character Lucifer on Netflix. So finally, I was convinced just to give it a chance, and I was hooked as soon as I gave it a chance, watched all the way through, and I think about 3/4 of the way through watching the entire thing is when I started to cosplay him.
Cool.
And that took off rather quickly.
Yeah, it did. Definitely.
Yeah.
That's
It's actually kind of funny. After the first video blew up, somebody wrote in the comments, "Wow, this definitely seems to be your niche. Are you worried about?" I had somebody asked me live stream, "Are you worried about being pigeonholed and only doing Lucifer for successful videos?" I said, "No. I want to do other cosplays. It shouldn't be a problem." Come, almost a full year later, being on TikTok, and it's Lucifer is definitely my most well known. That's why for the longest time I had Lucifer Morning Star TikTok in my bio, but I've decided to remove that because so many people were tagging me in other Lucifer cosplayers videos that have been cosplaying Lucifer long before I have, saying, "Jennings Brower, you see this?" I'm like, yeah, it's a great cosplay by a great cosplayer who's been doing Lucifer longer than I have. I don't claim a title to it,
Right.
All
Well,
be the same character.
Yeah, it's not a
100%.
competition. Dang, I should have dressed like Lucifer.
I'm like cosplay is amazing. You can gender bend characters. You can do whatever you wanted to.
Yeah.
And it's not going to matter to me. You know.
Agreed.
Yeah, that's
Definitely. Now, actually, speaking of TikTok, I wanted to ask, what are your thoughts on the platform? Like, I know you got into Lucifer on TikTok. What are your thoughts for TikTok for cosplayers, the organic reach?
Oh my gosh, man!
It as a platform. What are your thoughts on TikTok?
I have to say, originally, I was never going to get on TikTok. I was one of those people that like was on Vine like for a bit, but nothing ever happened on Vine. I posted like transition videos. It's only 6 seconds, right? So you like transition. I would take a shoe, and the shoe would go on a journey, and that was it. And I wouldn't be seeing anybody. So I never got on music. I never did any of that. And then the girl that I was actually talking to at the time, Mel Weary, who's also on TikTok. Mel Dramatic, shout out to her. She convinced me to get on TikTok, and I'm so grateful that she did. And so yeah, when it comes to the cosplay community and how it can benefit, I think for cosplay it's incredible. I know TikTok is going through a lot of changes. There's obviously been past history where they've either said some things or they ended up having to admit to like shadowing certain videos of certain people, of certain looks and types, and then they had to stop doing that. I know, like for example, there's a big contact brand that a lot of people have now stopped using. That was a huge TikTok sponsor for different creators, and it's actually been where I've gotten all my contacts so far. And then, of course, as soon as somebody filled me in, I stopped using them. Long story short, I talked to a buddy of mine who's big in cosplay in New York City recently, and I'm trying to convince him to get on to TikTok. And he says, well, I know they've said some crappy things about TikTok, about cosplayers in the past, or about the LGBTQ, and I'm like, I think they're actually making a big effort now to change all of that. I think as an app that wants to have global outreach.
All right, guys. Just me here. No idea what just happened to the Skype call. We lost Jennings. We lost everybody. But I'll get everybody back. So, Lucifer's coming. I don't know what happened there. That was weird.
Are we okay? Are we okay?
What just happened?
Continue on.
This is why we can't have nice things.
That is.
This is why we can't have nice things. Did we crash? We're still live? We okay?
We're live. We're good.
Literally, we're paused at like the
Everyone's safe?
climax of the
Whoa.
story. He's like,
See what happened was.
So I'm gonna need you to get
You see
back
what
into that
happened
pose.
was.
I'm gonna need you to get
So,
back into that pose
does-
and continue
does anyone
on as you were.
Everyone just hold it.
And,
Was
you
like,
know what? I'm just gonna do that really quick.
It's a transition. Now everybody be in different
Who's
clothes.
that on the screen, guys? I think we got him.
my cosplay bag's in my next room, so I'm gonna have to. Wait, it's right here now?
No, Trey's here. That was
What?
my Hail Mary.
No.
That was my.
Shut up.
No.
touch anything.
All right, now I just got.
Okay, now just press live. Just press live.
We're live. We never not. We were never not live. Like
I see myself.
yes. We were never,
I see
we were
Trey.
never not
I
live.
found myself, guys. I found myself.
I'm so proud of you, Trey. So proud.
Yeah,
What a
no,
time to be
we were
alive.
never not live. I went
Look
live
at
by
us.
myself for a minute.
Look at us.
Who'd have thought?
Who'd have thought?
I
Not
mean,
me.
Whoa, we have two Jennings.
So this is the beauty of TikTok, guys. This is where TikTok shines and where it does its thing. The ability to collaborate and
Yes, it's huge.
yeah, Trey, stop. Trey's
What?
window's going to be changing sides
No.
throughout the whole podcast. I'm
No.
gonna have to fight with all of this.
Did you want me to try to like reverse to wherever I was?
Yes, let's get right back into
What
the story. So,
what did you guys hear?
we're doing this.
You were
right up to the point where you said they were trying to
about
make a
like we were
concerted
talking
effort
about they were
about-
shadow banning and
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I was talking to a friend of mine. He was worried that they've been shadow banning or doing the same thing to cosplayers and LGBTQ. And I explained to him, no, I think you should give it a second chance because the platform that's trying to have a global outreach understands it's 2020. Some of the biggest conversations are not just self-love, but love for everybody, no judgment for everybody. And that's why we're talking about how, like, right? I get so frustrated when about any of my friends that are black cosplayers get on and have to do an IGTV rant of people that come on their videos saying the Flash was never black. And it's like, yo, that's what I'm saying. gender bend the Flash, gender bend Beast Boy, gender bend and
Make it your
do
own.
whatever version of whatever cosplay character, whoever you want to be. I wouldn't say like go impersonating a human unless it's like for comedy reasons, which obviously the world has already done with Tiger King, you know. But anyway, so I think TikTok at this point today is a beautiful place for people from all different industries to be able to come together, collaborate, create, have fun from the comfort of your own home, and get like I think most typical actors would laugh at this, but actually get a good glimpse into what is acting and actually get to practice that. And so for me, who's actually, I'd like to say full-time actor. I'm not quite. I do fitness training and stuff to help support myself as well. It's a beautiful thing. Gotta pay the bills.
Oh yeah.
So
Gotta pay the bills. So TikTok is great. I think it's super awesome.
I agree.
What's
I
a
think
dream
TikTok is a great-
cosplay?
A dream cosplay of mine. I really at some point want to save up for a really nice custom Nightwing. The reason I want to save up for a nice one, or at least get an RPC, or something similar, is because I want to really get I cheered in college at Florida State, and so I want to get all my tumbling practice back in and parkour practice back in, so I can actually move around and roll around in a suit that's not going to get too much damage, you know. But and Nightwing has to be that character
Oh yeah.
whose suit can take battle damage. So that's why I'm going to save up and wait for that. So that's probably like my current dream cosplay is a really nice Nightwing.
That's sick.
So
I
you'd be
could
an
see
awesome
that.
Nightwing.
I was gonna say I could see that. Did
That's
you
why I'm
cheer
growing
only
hair
in
out, too.
college or in high school as well?
So I never cheered. Actually, I take that back. I did a powder puff. If you guys remember powder puff,
Oh, yeah.
the girls would play football and the guys would cheer. So I did that. And then, besides, even if you'd asked me then, would you ever be a cheerleader? I probably would have said no because of the stigma at the time. Because in high school, the best of the best cheer is all star. And I definitely grew up like the lax bro, and it was before I knew I wanted to full on get into acting. And I definitely attempted to keep up with the cool kids. I was never part of the cool community or the popular community, but I definitely, because of the stigma of cheer at the time, probably would have said no. It was actually after I lived abroad in Czech Republic, and because there's like 6 months of very cold weather, I wanted to find out where can I like go do trampoline stuff or learn how to tumble. And I met people that actually did gymnastics or parkour in a gymnastics gym near our school. And so that's how I got into tumbling, and Spider-Man's always my favorite. So tumbling, then moving back to Florida after my year abroad, cheer was the best option to be able to have the front line and all the sports that I love, but hang out with very attractive athletic females and new
Well, and you
flips.
get to and you get to be athletic yourself. You
Again,
know,
Yeah.
like,
Well, you get to
stones, one
practice
bird.
like acting, facial skills as well.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And you have to work on your performance skills because you're in front of an entire stadium. And not drop a human being.
Press
So-
it up now.
Don't drop this human.
Do you get
Right.
nervous with large crowds? Like if you're in a speech, large crowd, center of attention.
You
do
know
get
what's
nervous?
interesting? I think for me, and I gotta say, like, you know, cheerleading was definitely the best when it comes to public speaking. I took public speaking in the junior college that I went to before I went to Florida State, but even then I was cheering, so it was already pretty helpful. I think everybody gets butterflies, gets those nerves, and I can tell y'all, I don't practice like breathing techniques before I go on. I really should. But I think everyone has that little bit of nervousness that they have to kind of break through, and that's why I use my crackhead energy to just kind of like, here I am.
I do that
Pay
too,
no attention
Jenny.
to the man
I do
losing
that
it.
too.
Right.
So,
And I actually learned that in movement class in my acting
Yeah.
thing that I went to. They said, hey, just if you're really feeling it, go stand in the corner, do jumping jacks, scream into the wall, then turn around and start whatever it is. And
Nice.
Yeah.
it is so helpful.
So I did stage before I'm trying to, cross that bridge into film.
Yeah.
But right now with the hiatus, or not hiatus, I guess, yeah, it's a
Well,
hiatus.
now's your time.
Well, that's what, I can't go to any auditions, but before going on to do anything on stage, like if I was nervous, no matter what I was wearing, so all of my costumes, I would grab them, and they're usually dresses, and I would just go, like with my dresses. It's that
You have
crackhead
to.
energy. You
You've
have to
got
do
to.
it because it gets the jitters out, but keeps your energy going, and
Totally.
yeah. I
I-
totally relate to that 100%.
I wish I could say I do. I don't know what it was, but ever since I was a teenager, Because before then, I couldn't ask a librarian for a book. I was so nervous. But something happened in my teenage years that I just got really comfortable, like basically lost all shame. Lost the ability to feel shame. I don't know if it was puberty, something switched, but no matter the crowd, no matter the size, no matter the thing, I don't get nervous. There's just no
That's awesome.
jitters. It's pretty cool, but also kind of
There's-
weird.
Yeah, and part of it, Juan, is what is real quick the rules on swearing?
Oh, we have.
Oh,
You can swear.
it's a policy.
George
Curse
Carlin.
words.
George Carlin.
You must swear.
Go. You
Yes,
have
it's a
to.
requirement.
Cosplay, cons, and curse words.
I
It's
was
funny
about to
'cause-
hang up on you because you haven't sworn. I was like,
Literally.
Well, what's interesting is
I
people in my live stream are
forgot
so
about
used to
that.
me not swearing that if I say anything that and it's like in my TikTok live stream, it's like, do you swear? I'm like, yes, I actually do in real life sometimes. But it's we don't want like if that's what I'm saying for like TikTok is so great because you get to find yourself, and once you really find yourself and can learn to not give a shit about what anybody else says or thinks about you, that's when it's like, yeah, I'm going to be nervous, but I'm also excited.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So
a lot of
It's
creative
a
Yeah.
language word.
a lot of creative
Definitely.
freedom in there. No,
There,
yeah.
so I'm
Passionate
reading
about what you're doing.
Yeah, definitely. And
Yeah.
it's nice whenever you find like-minded people that you can, create with and collaborate with. I'm reading, I don't know if, so Jenna Fisher from The Office
of
wrote
course,
have you read her book, Actor's
I've
Eye?
read about the first quarter of it. I
So
really
you
need to get
read-
myself back into.
Or yeah, I've been reading it now because I'm like, okay, I need that inspiration. And she has this beautiful part that she's like, when she says, find your tribe, like find the people that fuel your creativity and fuel each
100%.
other's creativity and be there, to help each other and to do things together and just be creative. And I was like, yeah, I mean, and that's really, I feel like TikTok is doing a great job of allowing people to find their tribe because with the whole algorithm it finds, okay, you like Spider-Man TikToks, well here's a whole bunch of Spider-Man TikTokers, like,
Here's
oh,
Ant-Man.
yeah, here's Ant-Man.
No,
Yeah,
I totally agree with that. And that's what's really cool. Like, this is the last thing I'll say about TikTok for this portion.
Yeah.
And that's the coolest thing. I know we earlier were talking about organic growth. It's literally because every other social media source, and even though TikTok is still relatively new in the sense of, if we're not considering Musical.ly's time around here, like Instagram and YouTube are so hard to grow on now because
Extremely.
you can post beautiful quality photos and beautiful captions, but that doesn't automatically mean you're going to be on the explore page. TikTok, if you have a fraction of creativity, and one video is a great joke and a joke that hits, is something like within the first, I think, 10 or like in sets of 10s, like depending on the number of likes it gets, that's what might put on the For You page.
Yeah.
Exactly. So as soon as it's on the For You page, it can be a spark and go. It might go on the For You page, not everybody like it, and then not stay on there. But it's amazing how it can just, you have no followers and one thing can blow up. It's beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the algorithm is very interesting. I've been trying to figure it out, and
I think we all have, with a lot of failures.
I spent 3 hours on this video, and then this one that took 20 minutes blew up.
We
Dude,
shot a video for
my-
an hour.
All my videos have been like,
I have something to share with you guys based on what you just said, Trey.
Uh-oh.
I have spent luckily the longest video I've ever spent time on for TikTok was my cosplay takeover. It turned out to be like 58 seconds, and it took us 9 hours of me rewriting, writing out because I'm an actor and I'm very like perfectionist about this. I wrote out the shot list because as a cosplay takeover, it's just you as however many cosplays you want to include in the video, doing different things during different parts of the video. And then my poor friend Sam, who's been in a lot of my videos recently, she said yes, she's willing to help, and I said I have a huge favor to ask. What were you saying, Gigi?
is that the one that she posted the video and she was just like, Jennings asked me to help him with a video, and here we are and it's 3 a.m. or something.
Yes, 100%. And so that luckily that video did well. Otherwise, it would have been sad. But the video
Let this flop.
my Lucifer video that has the most views, the video on my TikTok has the most views. I recorded the first part of it like 2 weeks prior to me posting it. Didn't know what I was going to do with that. I just wanted to use the audio because it was training audio at the time. 2 weeks later, I got a haircut and was doing some other stuff. And I'm like, you know what? I haven't used this video for anything. I have no ideas of what to do this for. Let me do my Lucifer thing with it and use this video to announce that I'm going to Comic-Con 2019 as Lucifer. And it was literally an announcement video that took me altogether maybe 5 minutes. It has probably around 25 million views at this point.
Jesus.
Maybe 5 minutes.
In case you
And
want to know what
I'm
TikTok
sorry.
can do for you folks, in case you want to know what TikTok can do for you, it can do that.
And let me just say to the Twitch people watching this either now or in the future, let me just say, like, that's being shot on a Samsung. If you haven't used TikTok on a Samsung, there's probably about half of the features with editing and everything else that an Apple on TikTok will give you. And that was one of those, just one single transition. And without the editing tools to be able to crop each little clip that you've put into one video like you can on the Apple, doing that over and over and over and over again until I got the transition right the way I wanted to and posting it. Granted, only 5 minutes maximum, but like it's proof that you don't have to edit the crap out of anything for a video to go big.
Yeah, I only shoot on Samsung, and actually there are more features on the Samsung. If you got the high-end Samsung,
One's very anti.
You were just able to
I was going to say,
No.
honestly, I've got the Samsung Note 10 Plus. The one I had before this was the Note 9 Plus. So I've been up there.
What are you talking about? Because they all have iPhones, and I'm like, yeah, you just go to this drop down, and they're like, we don't have that. I'm like, what do you mean you don't have that? Like, it's a thing.
But within the app,
Within the app. We're in
what drop down are you talking
We're
about?
in TikTok. Shit, I can't even remember, but I remember telling them, and
A
they're
lot
like,
of
they all
times
look at their phones,
it's
and they're
the
like, we don't
audio.
have that. I think it's because Android is used to test features, and Apple is like,
Well, this
It works
was
when you get to
also
Apple.
in like the second month of me being on TikTok, so it might have been at a time before there were like more
Yeah.
updates for Samsung.
yeah, it's definitely caught up. But either way, to make your point, it doesn't matter what you're shooting on.
No,
Sometimes it doesn't even matter quality of the film, because I know people are like, well, I don't have a high-res phone camera. It's like, if it's funny and it hits, sometimes
Yep.
it doesn't even matter. There are more viewers on TikTok than there are content creators. That's
I
just
agree
the
with
math
that.
of it. It's just the math of it. So it gives you the freedom to do what you want. Like, I love that Gigi made a video that when she got to 50K saying she got 50K followers only doing content she wanted to do.
100%.
That's it. So
I can't think of any other platforms that do that.
yeah, I pay no mind to the algorithm myself. I know other people take it a little more serious, and they try to get the timing right. I fucking just go. I just
Dude, what's tough about it at the end of the day is the people that are taking it super seriously are the ones that are trying to do it full time.
Yeah.
I think for those of us that literally use it as a fun app, and maybe now that we're getting traction, we can do some more time on it. It's still for fun.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Once it stops being
Like,
fun, I think
ever-
it takes away from it, like anything
Yeah.
else. Once
Exactly.
it becomes a
100%.
job. Ooh. Yeah.
Yeah,
And having
I
fun with
totally
you.
agree.
So Gigi,
Exactly
ask
right.
him the question you ask everybody, then we'll transition into our
Okay.
subjects.
Here we
This is
go.
the
This-
hardball question, Jennings.
this-
Get ready.
Break
This is gonna
stuff.
do
I'm
it.
holding on to my spinning chair.
This is a
Buckle
very,
up.
very, very serious question. So Jennings.
Wait,
Okay, yeah, are you gonna do a spit
Okay.
take? Oh no.
no, this is my dad's office. I can't do that.
So Jennings,
Yes,
if you were a Girl Scout cookie, which one would you be?
Ooh.
the peanut butter ones, hands down.
Tags! Heck
The
yeah!
ones that are
Or
pretty
the
much the
Josie Dough.
knockoff of Nutter Butter.
Dozy Dough?
Nutter butter
The Dozy
knockoff.
Does. That's what I said Trey was. And then he was
As
like,
soon as somebody asked me anything flavor wise, I'm like peanut butter or chocolate peanut butter, no cap.
Oh, I refuse
I
to be a
said
Girl
Brittany
Scout
was a
cookie.
tag along.
And me and Juan are Girl Scout.
We are
Accurate.
Girl Scout cookies.
They're
bro.
too tiny.
You just aren't at all.
We
You
just
could
not.
eat
We're
an
Toll
entire
House.
sleeve.
I'm Toll House oatmeal chocolate chip. If I'm any.
No, I said he was a Samoa.
I'm not a.
Trey, you're the s'mores one.
Is that because of this outfit right now?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Because I look like a marshmallow. Is that it? Because I look like a
Chocolate
marshmallow.
on the shoulder.
You're so sweet.
You look
I'm
like an Oreo.
100%. I'm the trefoils or trefoils, however you pronounce it.
Trefoil? I don't even know
The
enough
little
about Girl
vanilla
Scout cookies.
wafers.
I just know I dislike
Notice
all
how
of
I
them.
just said the peanut butter one. Oils or whatever.
Do-si-do.
The
Do-si-dos are good. Those are good dipped in milk.
So now we get into our topics and subject, guys, and I don't think there's a bigger subject on the internet right now than Tiger King.
Show the shirt, Brittany. Show the shirt.
Oh yeah,
Hey, Mike, the Brittany Chaos.
that's it.
Oh wow.
So yeah, I haven't watched it, and I do not plan to watch it whatsoever. No, I just.
It's a train wreck. You can't look away from.
I got too many shows. They assign me shows. I gotta watch Hunters. I gotta watch.
The good thing
other things
is that I watched it with my brother before I heard any of the hype.
Nice.
Oh.
Okay.
And now that it's being hyped, now there's pressure. My brother's like, "Yo, you want to watch this with me? I've heard it's kind of crazy." I'm like, "Sure."
Yeah. Oh, that's good. I did not. I saw it and just the cover photo. I was like, no, I'm good.
Man, unless like you
That's
with
a
your
hard sell
boys.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Brittany, I think, was the first one to watch it in the group. So
Yeah.
go ahead, Britt. Tell us about the
Take it away.
craziness that is Tiger King.
We're gonna
I'm
pass.
so sorry that we're ruining this for him.
Tiger King is a train wreck that you simply cannot look away from. It's like Joe Dirt, a gay Joe Dirt on meth. Meets the craziest rednecks. Half of the people live in Florida, and half of them live in Oklahoma or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's just basically they're all being a bunch of hypocrites, all blaming each other that they hold cats captive, and they're all just playing the blame game. And then in there we've got, a presidential election, a governor election, and we've got murder, and it's just
We got
fucking, it's fucking everywhere. Sardine oils, we got missing limbs. I mean, it's just so much to handle. It's almost overwhelming.
You have music videos,
Oh yeah, let's not forget
possibly the funniest and most ridiculous part of the whole thing.
Yes.
2 reality TV shows at the same time.
Yep.
Imagine
my-
Joe Exotic on TikTok, y'all.
Hey y'all, I'm Joe Exotic.
It would
I'm
just be like,
self-proclaimed Tiger King.
it would just be the clip of him in the throne over and over.
Give it time, I guarantee Carol Baskins will get on TikTok.
Oh,
Oh,
Guaranteed.
for the love of God, boot her immediately.
What,
It's
her grand
Cats and kids.
She 100% fed her husband to her cats.
Isn't it the granddaughter? The granddaughter of the guy who got fed is on TikTok, and she was
I
like,
said that.
"Yeah." Brittany sent us a video of her, and she's like, "Yeah, this is my grandpa. I'm glad Netflix is bringing this to light, and I miss my grandpa."
Tiger
basically.
food.
Tiger food. Yeah, that's what he became. I didn't kill him.
She
But if I
basically
did-
said, like, our whole family's been talking about this, and she's like, the only thing I have to say is a man that's, like, paranoid about his money, why would he leave without it?
Yeah.
And then what? Have a restraining order on his wife?
Oh, 2 months prior, like July, and then he goes missing in August.
I believe Carol. That's just me. I believe it.
Coincidence?
You
I
haven't
believe that.
seen it.
I believe
I
it.
don't
have
Carol,
no ground to stand
Carol's
on.
innocent.
I don't think that there's enough evidence because there's nothing. I mean, it's all alleged.
It's all hearsay,
It's all
you know.
hearsay.
All I'm saying is they searched for that man for a year and a half.
Oh,
You should
Belinda
look in
said,
the Tiger Dung.
Belinda,
A year and a
They
half.
reopened the case.
my wife
They
is in the
reopened the case
comments.
because of this story.
My wife is in the comments. She said that girl, Brittany, is from San Antonio.
She
Yeah,
is.
Carol,
Right.
Carol,
She's the
Carol-
granddaughter
Oh,
lives
yeah.
here.
Carol
No.
is from San Antonio.
Carol?
She is. Yes.
Carol Baskins.
Hometown
I'm
hero.
Admiral.
I have to believe her now. I have to believe her. I don't even get a choice. I think she's innocent. I think OJ's innocent. R. Kelly didn't do it. Like, I said it. It had to be said.
He said-
OJ definitely tweeted though. He's like, Carol Baskins did it.
Did he?
Yikes.
No.
Listen
Man,
here, bro.
You don't get to tweet that. OJ, you
You
don't
have
get
no
to
fingers
tweet
to
that.
point.
Yeah, there's no, you can't do that. Oh shit, he did.
Bear County.
She
Oh
is
my
from Bear
gosh.
County. Oh damn.
Carol.
I'm just not gonna admit that.
We don't
That's-
Carol Baskin.
We don't claim
We
her.
don't claim her. We
We
don't
don't-
claim Carol.
We don't claim Carol.
Yeah, we don't.
Listen, any of them from Florida, I also don't claim.
You don't play many of the Florida
Well, she's
ones?
in Florida now.
She's based out of Florida now.
She is staying against our how do I want to say
Wishes?
this?
Against your
She's
wishes?
she's an invasive species.
I like it. I like it.
Let's
I like
support
the actions of this show, not just like on people and their memes and everything, but the people that are in the show, the shit that they've done since it's been aired. Like the toothless boy has actually got his teeth fixed. Carol Baskin has like pretty much, yeah. So he had like 3 freaking teeth, right? You know, like
Yeah, I remember
like
that.
Gollum,
Yeah.
right?
Like a
And he
broken
actually
piano.
had a full set of veneers put in.
Wow.
So he's got like a perfect smile now.
I wonder if they all
Freaking
got
Joe
a check for
Exotic's
this.
living it up in jail. Just
I'm
loves
sure they
being
made some money.
famous.
Oh man.
Doc Antler is super pissed about the way he was perceived in the show. So is Carol Bass.
Oh my
Ron
god.
Mack.
Doc
what's
was
terrible-
the grossest guy on that show. He was the
And what's
worst.
terrible is like I followed they're on TikTok, Doc's places. What's the name of their
Oh,
spot?
fudge. I don't remember. But yes, they were on TikTok.
They're on TikTok, and I like their videos. I'm like, oh my god, no, I've been liking his son's content. Absolutely not.
You went
Unfollow.
back and unfollow.
Well, yeah, and it's like all of the stuff that's come out about it. I'm like, oh, like that's not good.
Yeah.
Netflix may have not dug into all the details about Carol Baskin, but they must have had enough details if they're going to reopen this entire case again.
Well, they literally, like, it's the only show I've ever seen on Netflix that literally says limited series. And it's like saying, like, it might be continued, it might not. We currently don't know. This is all we have so far.
So Netflix was like, yo, let's get a case going. Let's film it.
Let's do
Let's
this
go.
again. If we can,
I-
let's
You know
do
what,
this
though?
again.
Like mediums like that, they really can get cases started again. Because like, what was it? The podcast Up and Vanished about Tara Grinstead, the
Yeah.
lady, the teacher that went missing or whatever. That case, that podcast stirred up that case. That case was reopened, and now there's actually been arrests since the podcast aired because
Yeah,
they done so much.
This wasn't the
Netflix?
first one. Netflix did the serial killer one, the one where they had the
Making
special
a
needs
Murderer?
guy making a murderer reopen the case. So Netflix has some power, y'all.
They're stirring
for
that
sure.
pot. They're like, hey,
And they definitely
Hey,
made it in
remember?
Making a Murderer
Remember
season
this?
1. They made it like
That
that
was
really
great.
vagueness. You know, they didn't have a lot of facts, and it wasn't until after the series aired that a lot of new facts came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy stuff, man. But that's not the only craziness we have. Rick and Morty dropped the trailer. We're gonna be part 2 of season 4 is coming to us. We have to wait a month. It's gonna be the beginning of May, but I think we'll still be indoors at that time, so it'll give us something to watch at least. So
Hey, once again, I'm very thankful to be down in Florida right now. My backyard is perfectly A-okay with me.
nice.
Sunshine
Yeah.
State.
So what did y'all think of the, I think
Sunshine
everybody in here watched the Rick and Morty trailer. What did you guys think of it?
I'm so excited. Like,
Let's get ready for the multiple arm Rick cosplays. They're going to be everywhere.
I can't wait to see what was it, the Gundam suits.
Yes, I saw that.
Yes.
Jennings, you need to do a TikTok of that unnecessary complicated suit up. You have to turn that into a little 10-second TikTok. And
I'm
that'd be
down.
great.
I want, but you know what though? What's interesting when you have those TV show crossovers like that?
Mhm.
What contracting had to go into that? What discussion
Yes, the
with the
licensing.
originators, right? The licensing to be able to say, hey, here's our ridiculous show that's been around for some time. It's actually quite popular now. We'd like to see if you'd be okay with like having a cameo.
yeah.
Yeah, and this fan base is rabid because we saw what happened with Szechuan sauce. They made Szechuan sauce.
Oh
come
my
out
God.
One time.
I need the sauce, Morty. I need it.
One
You know,
time.
I think
It's the Mulan Szechuan sauce.
And McDonald's lost their shit.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I think how some of those contracts and all those like cameos happen. I do know that like the dragon episode, like one of the last episodes of the first part of season 4.
Oh, the D&D.
The animators actually are the animators and creative called, and so it was their idea to put dragons on the show because they're the animators of this app. So I think you have such a mix of animators that work on so many different projects that I think they're able to do those cameos because they're pulling it from work they already do.
Yeah, the Dragon one was a D&D crossover because they literally had a version of Dungeons & Dragons released, a Rick and Morty version of Dungeons & Dragons, which was a lot of fun.
That's what I'm saying. Those people that came up with that idea were the animators of the show, and they also work on an app called Merge Dragons, and that's why they picked Dragons. That's why they picked D&D.
I love when nerds collaborate. It just leads to good content.
It's amazing.
Yeah. So Rick and Morty, May 4th, I believe the date is, around there. It'll be the beginning of May.
I think it's May 3rd.
May 3rd?
Let me also just say,
They can't come out on Star Wars Day. That's just...
May the 4th be with you.
That's when we're supposed to come out, but I don't.
I don't know what day in May, but I do know early May is when Lucifer season 5 is supposed to release, and everyone who comes to my live streams thinking I'm Tom Ellis, being like, "Hey, so what day is your new season?" Because I'm like, I mean, if you look up Lucifer on Google, you're going to see Tom Ellis as the star, and my username is Jennings Brower. So unless there's some weird
I'm trying to be
18-year difference,
they need to bring Jennings on the show. Crossover.
Like the Mandela effect or whatever.
Yes.
What were you saying, Judy?
I lied.
I dare you.
Wow.
Why?
Wow.
Boo to her.
Live for the
Yellow flag.
Everyone boo her.
Boo.
If you have the show and admit it, you get booed.
It's told me like 5 different days. You know what?
You can't believe everything
Don't worry about it.
you
Beginning of May. Beginning of May. It'll be there. You'll watch it. Hopefully.
For Lucifer.
Like
I was looking up Lucifer.
Oh, Lucifer's Day?
No, it's supposed to be in May.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
May-ish. Just say May-ish.
I don't
Delays,
know
man.
but
May
sometimes.
2020.
These delays.
Now, there are a lot of delays, and that's the next topic we're getting into. Ghostbusters has been delayed. Morbius is now delayed. I know, we're really bummed about Ghostbusters and
Listen,
Morbius.
here's the thing, fam. I'm like, yo, take your time with Morbius.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't rush
You make Morbius as amazing in that because you need it to be.
Jared Leto deserves it. He deserves the
Take
time.
your time, please.
Now they have a whole year to improve the CGI, everything. They've
That's what I'm
finished
saying.
principal production. Now it's just all the CGI and
Make it
special effects.
seamless.
Get all the
Dude, let them. Yeah. Like, can we, I know this is like a sidebar, real quick.
Yeah.
But like Sonic,
Yeah,
like
that's,
Sonic. Who?
Who okayed that?
Let me do this real quick. Who said, "Oh, this Sonic looks fine"? All the fans are gonna love this Sonic. No, they like the new fresh look. Absolutely not.
it went so far in the process. There was posters and standees, and theaters had already received promo stuff.
Toys.
They had
I want to
burn it
know,
all.
like, what
Why was that
animator
okay?
he was lying to. Like, he must have been like the son of somebody. Like, yeah, it looks great, looks great. But, like,
Looks great, Jerry. It's a good looking Sonic,
they're
Jerry.
giving us enough money. Just push through it. It's fine. It's fine. We'll lose in the box office, but we'll take the L.
I'm glad
Have y'all
the
seen-
internet.
Carrie's gonna carry the film anyway. We got this.
Dude.
Have you seen the Rams' new logo? When you said the Sonic thing, it made me think of the Rams' new logo. The
I'm not saying
NFL
you're
team.
wrong
The
enough. I'm
Los
about to
Angeles
put that down.
Rams, or are they Los Angeles now? Right? They're the Los Angeles Rams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Rams' new logo.
it's
Is that the one with
well
the hoop?
this is the updated one. But
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I just saw.
this part,
It looks like a bad TV show's college logo.
No,
Yeah.
yes.
Like
but
Blue
what
Mountain
Gigi was
State.
pointing, put it up to the screen again, Gigi. What Gigi
That
was
looks
trying
like
to
an-
point out is it looks
that's
like a
an-
dick. There's a dick
Yeah.
on his head.
this isn't even the bad one. This is the
Look it upside
updated
down.
one.
Now
Look it
I see
upside
Put it
down.
upside down, put it
See
close.
it?
You see the dick?
Boom.
Of course, now, yeah, for sure.
And that's
That was
done
an
by
intern
design,
Friday.
actually. It's done by design on a lot of logos because phallic symbolism gets your
I mean,
testosterone
Disney?
going. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all
I
over.
was gonna say, like, I did the Little Mermaid cover, did that.
Speaking of which, can we talk about this real quick?
Yes, we can
Yes.
talk about whatever you want. You got the steering wheel. Let's do this.
You do a live action Lion King and no one shakes their head. I liked it. Was it as emotionally drawing as the original? Absolutely not.
I like
They
it
did
as
a
well.
decent job though.
I
However, you're gonna do a live action Lion King with talking animals, but then you're not.
Please tell me
You're
I
not-
know where you're going.
You're not gonna put Mushu and Mulan. Who are you people?
Dishonor on you! Dishonor on your cow!
Where's Ethan Trace? You don't do this. You don't take out a component to Mulan.
Oh.
Who is going to fill Mushu?
What's next?
You watch the new thing. I don't care what you do. You're not going to fill those shoes with some other character.
What are they going to do? Not cricket now?
Yeah,
Dude, are they not going to do the cricket?
No Kooky Grandma?
Unpopular opinion. I'm 100% okay with them taking out Mushu because this is
Where are they going to fill it in?
It's going to be the voice of her ancestors. This is a much more traditional picture of Chinese culture and not
so
the Mulan
because,
story that you're used to.
She flames, literally flies in the air. Her traits are like dragons.
Yes,
Yes,
it's a nod to the operatic style of filmmaking that you see in Hong Kong.
But why would Disney make all of these live actions so aligned with their original stories, and then all of a sudden for one movie say, no?
I think it was
I get it. If you're going to nod and bow to the origin, the tradition, I totally appreciate that. But then do it with all the movies, not just one.
Yeah, I think this
one.
one.
Well, that's like when they almost didn't do Raja in Aladdin, and then everybody threw a fit, and then they ended up putting him in there anyway.
Yeah, I think they didn't want to make light of their ancient ancestry and their culture because this is a film made for China. We're just getting it, but it's definitely
Mulan is not Mulan without Mushu. It's just not.
Gigi, I agree with you. Actually, what you would just said to me, my brain was like, yes, Gigi, yes. But then I lost it for a second. Anyways.
So I'll be the odd man out, though. I don't mind them taking out Mushu because I want to see what they're going to do. I agree with Jennings in that you've done it for all the rest. Why not with this one? I think this one is a director decision and a writer decision. I think the screenplay is different. The director made the choice.
I think, and did you say? I remember what you said. You said, what if Disney just isn't telling us and not putting him in the trailer, but he's going to be there? And I'm like, I've actually thought about that too, because he is such a favorite character in the entire movie. Maybe there's boom, surprise, here he is. But what I would have said is, very much what I would have said, look at Wonder Woman, right? You do an amazing job of choosing to hire as her tribe of people female Olympic athletes, beautiful, super freaking smart, super genius. Gal Gadot, I like her, but when you have all these other super amazing athlete females as her tribe, is she supposed to be the strongest, most badass?
Yeah. Thank you. Took me right out of the movie. Sorry.
So along those lines of making those kind of good choices, then if you want to have Mushu in there, but then be more traditional, hire a traditional animator who's very good, either animator or just artist from China, and allow him to make a totally different looking Mushu. That's cool. But make it traditionally, yes, this will fit, this will be okay. And then honor even further because we're using someone who's very traditionally sound.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
By having someone do that.
I think we will
They
get
should
something
make
on
it look like Shinron from Dragon Ball or the dragon from Spirited Away.
I actually think that's what we're getting because originally Jackie Chan was casted for that role of Mushu, or that they didn't say it was Mushu, but it was the only role left. They still haven't said what Jackie Chan's role is in the film.
It's the cricket.
And what I heard is that it is going to be more of an ancestral dragon, a large dragon, not a Mushu, small dragon.
The Great Stone Dragon.
Yeah, it's
the
going
Great
to
Stone
be
Dragon. That Mushu pretended to be at that one point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
With the little head.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's the route they're going to go with it. Is a larger dragon, something a little more traditional. Not so much the comedic, so I'm okay with that just because they are honoring the original culture. But we're to our last topic because everybody's stuck at home. We are all here. We wanted to do a little lighthearted segment where we just kind of talk about what we do while we're at home. Like, what do we do when we're bored? Because it is challenging having to be indoors now. It's going to be for 45 days for people in Texas. So I'll start with Jennings, though. Jennings, what are you doing since you have so much time on your hands now, and everyone does, as everyone does? What is your thing to do when you get either down in the dumps or you're tired of being inside? What's your go-to for you?
So I have to admit, I've been very blessed and lucky with both. Even when I was still in New Jersey before I came down to Florida, before New Jersey, New York became such the red target zone as it is right now. Even in New Jersey, I'm out in the suburbs, Rahway, New Jersey. So there's backyard space. Like, luckily, I live in that whole actor house. So the people that I live with, like, we all had random gym equipment. So we made our backyard driveway like an outdoor gym. We had a tire to flip. So luckily for me, obviously, we're all of us here do something on social media, so all of us very luckily can continue doing what we've been doing at home and just focus a little bit more on it. Obviously, with those of us like Gigi, who right now gets to take a step back from work, she gets to step even more into her passions, which she's truly excited about. So, I guess to answer the question, I do TikTok live streams in the morning while I have my coffee. I try to do something to go be active, whether that's walking my dog or going on a run, or I've also created new goals, right? Because here's what I've said: the number one group of people that nothing has changed for with all of this is gamers. They look at their news, they're like, oh wait, people are staying inside. Oh, so I'm going to continue to do what I'm doing? Great, let's go.
And nobody can tell me otherwise.
Yeah,
nothing
I'm doing
changed.
the right thing now. Golden. Golden.
But what I've been talking to people on my Instagram story is to then create, whether it's in what you're already doing or what you can do extra with this extra time, is add some new goals. For me, like, I'm attempting for the first time to do keto, and I've never really thought that keto was something for like people that have already been doing fitness for a while. So I do, but I'm giving it a shot. I'm doing no carbs, seeing how that works.
It's gonna be amazing, transformational. Bro. Trust.
So it's that's why I suggest to people is like, if you're not doing live streams, you're not doing TikToks, if you want to start trying to create, or you've had that urge to create, you've not done it before, now is literally your chance to do it. But then aside from that, if you feel like you said, if you get down, you get into a creative rut, do something different. Add a little bit of a new goal. I've wanted to relearn Spanish, and now I'm using flashcards every day to actually do it, because I always make excuses otherwise why not to do it. So
come to San Antonio when all of this is over. We're super close to Mexico, and a lot of people are multilingual here.
Oh yeah. So
I'm not. I
Sí,
can't
vamos a
speak
hacerlo.
Spanish.
Sí.
I can say.
Si se puede.
I can say. Puerto, you're Albano. There we go. Hi.
Wow,
that
was.
I thought I could never speak Spanish, and then I'll never forget Mr. Alfaro. Awesome. Professor Alfaro was like, if you can spell socks, you can speak Spanish.
I love that.
What?
Eso sí que es. That's what it is.
Eso sí que es. Nice. I love
That's
it.
what it is.
I love it. That's awesome. That one's cool. What about you, Trey? What's your thing to do now that you're stuck inside? I know you have some work, but other than that, what do you do?
Work's been on the crazy lately, but I love it. Very blessed to still be working. What I've been doing with my free time has just been diving all into the rabbit hole of TikTok lately.
Let's go, man.
Oh, yeah.
And I've got to say, I know I've said this before, but you're freaking Wreck-It Ralph.
Fire!
Thanks, man.
I believe that everybody should be able to cosplay whoever they want, but you forever from now on will be the Wreck-It Ralph on TikTok.
That's how I met
just so
him.
you know.
I met him in a con, and I was like, "You look phenomenal." I was like a creeper almost. I was like, "You look phenomenal, man. Holy shit, you're amazing. Can I get a photo with you?" And he was super nice, and we just clicked instantly.
His Wreck-It Ralph on TikTok right now is the sole reason I've not shaved my face already. Because I'm really super cosplaying with it.
What are you talking about shaved? He has stubble right now. I see Trey.
No. I know, but I'm saying, like,
don't you?
To be able to do Archer, and I started doing Jimmy Neutron a few weeks ago. So to do him, I gotta shave my face,
Yeah.
But yeah, man, frick, dude.
Yeah,
anyways,
I don't want to shave for Maui. Trey wants me for the life, and
For Maui!
Yeah, Maui's my character.
It's
That's
got no
who I
beard.
cosplay.
It's like.
Yeah,
Maui?
It's exactly like Maui. And I remember when they asked me to cosplay it, it was like, hey, we need you to cosplay a super swole demigod. And I was like, cosplay?
I got it.
That's my default setting, super swole demigod.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, by the way, I've tried to get all the actors in my house to go on TikTok, and they all like kind of scoff at it. And I'm like, yo, I get it. I used to scoff at TikTok too.
Yeah.
Guess what, fam? It's changing my world right now.
Yeah. Brittany raised her hand.
One of my best friends in the house, his name is Brett Azar. I'm gonna make sure that you watch this podcast later.
Yeah.
He's been the body double for Arnold Schwarzenegger in the past two most recent Terminator movies.
Oh,
So the young Terminator has been him from the neck down. he would do an amazing Craven the Hunter because he's my height, but twice as wide because he's done bodybuilding and he still practices his bodybuilding like routines. And he has a sick beard. He has like pretty much not a mohawk, but almost like he would make the sickest Craven the Hunter.
While he's sleeping, dress him as Craven.
I need live
Well, and
action.
I told him, I'm like, bro, it's gonna be minimal effort for you. All you gotta do is find some like leopard print.
Yeah. Yep. That is so
Just
bad.
go raid Carol
This
Baskin.
year,
closet.
you're done. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
exactly right.
That's how you get it. Now, Brittany,
You're back
what are
alive.
you doing right now during this time stuck inside?
I do what I always do. I craft.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
I've made it like a few custom shirts. I made that one shirt because my birthday's coming up, so I did like the Aries symbol, that one like was it mandala or whatever pattern it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that took me like 4 freaking days because it was just so detailed.
So interesting.
But I redecorated like my entire office. So like I got this beautiful shelf that I was able to put like all my cosplays in and everything, and like some of my collections and stuff. So I've really just been, I guess, maybe kind of spring cleaning cosplay, like decorating stuff. I don't know.
Now's the time.
Doing the stuff I normally do.
Nice.
I'm gonna get to my TikTok soon. I got this shelf and I was like, I have to put everything where it goes first.
That's awesome. Gigi, what are you doing while you lock down, girl?
What are you doing, Gigi?
I've been TikToking.
TikTok.
But I've been
really rocking.
But I've been painting again. I haven't painted in a while. I haven't done it since I was like 20, so I'm doing it and I'm enjoying it. It's not as good as it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Not even close to as good as it used to be.
Some happy trees, just some happy trees.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
Well, and I've been doing mostly with acrylic, but I was like, I'm gonna do some oil painting. And now I remember why I hate oil painting. It takes so long to dry. It's like
You need to go get yourself one of those like a little tiny heat gun from like Michaels.
Yes.
I'll speed up your time so much.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
they make a really like
Frozen.
embossing one.
Yeah, I need to go do that because it's like I'm on day 3 and I go and I like touch it like the corner of it. I'm like, why are you still wet? Like, but it can take like 14 days for it to dry. And it's not even. It was the first coat. It's not even like I did multiple coats. I literally did one coat. I was like, okay.
So
well.
what are you
Is
doing?
there anything like you could put like a fan or something just to get it somewhat like get some moving air over it?
You can set it outside.
It's right by my air vent.
That's such a Gigi thing to say, though. What are you doing while locked down, Gigi? Oh, watching paint dry.
Well, I have
Quite
another one.
literally.
So I bought a bunch of these little canvases, and some of them are like little. They're like this big. So they're just like a little bit bigger than my tarot card deck. So I've been painting the tarot cards.
That's good
'Cause
practice.
they're
There you
super
go.
pretty. They're
cool.
super pretty.
That's
So
Gigi, you know what I think you should do?
what?
I think you should do some where you literally like use a magnifying glass and do some of that teeny tiny stuff. That would be a super fun project. And be like, look, from afar you might not be able to see anything, but look at this magnifying glass. You'll
Look,
be like,
it's sunflowers.
there's a whole crowd and there's Waldo. That tiny little flashcard.
Wait, I do have, because I have my little D&D figures, so I have some really little teeny little
There you go.
paintbrushes that I can
Yeah.
use.
Sorry
You-
to interrupt. I
you
wanna
created.
make sure we get the engagement here. Connie X on Twitch says, Jen, just watched Kickstart My Heart. I love it. Awesome job, my dude.
Yay!
Yes.
That was one of my favorite short films I've been in thus far.
Oh, where can we
Nice.
find it?
Yeah.
YouTube. You can watch on YouTube. Look for Dom Lampasona. DOM. Last name Lamp.
I love that.
Son.
Lamp-
Lampasona. Lampasona. Lampasona.
Okay.
Yes.
And you'll be able to find a Kickstarter. Or just search Kickstart My Heart. You'll probably find it.
That's badass. Awesome. Now mine, I'll get to my what I do. Wow.
Yeah, fill us in. I'm sorry, Dylan.
Oh,
I got
no,
it.
I wanted to make sure we got Connie's comment and we got the engagement there. I D&D. I think that's the thing we do in the most because I live with my whole party, my kids and my wife. So Dungeons and Dragons are how we're filling our downtime. Outside of that, training in the home gym. I'm fortunate enough to have
yes, sir.
Home gym. Oh, yes.
God bless him.
Did you make it fall again?
This is why we can have nice things.
We can have nice
Yes.
things.
Yeah, I will start running again really short. I know I kind of busted up my tendon, my patella tendon, and my quad tendon. I jacked it. Wow,
Ooh,
I was making great progress though, because I went from not running at all to running about 1.5 miles in 30 minutes, which is still atrociously slow, but
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's going.
and it was at 5 a.m. every morning because my goal is to run a 5K before the sun comes up every
With
morning,
me!
5 days a week.
And you want to do
Yeah.
5K with me.
I do
You
wanna
told
do
me
the
that
5K.
was your goal, and it made me
is.
so happy.
So I'm pretty healed up now. I've been rehabbing my own quad, and I should be good to go next week. I'm starting it back up again before the sun comes up. I will be running for 30 minutes every day just to kind of help.
And
clear
listen
my
to your
mind.
body, man.
Yeah,
Got
no,
this.
definitely.
Listen to your
the
body.
injury came because I was trying to increase my speed because I was making my best time yet. I was going around. I was almost there, and I literally was going to shave 2 minutes off my mile, and I was like, I go time. And right when I went go time, my knee went no time.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So it wasn't too bad. Luckily, it was just a sprain. It knocked me out for 3-4 weeks, but I rehabbed it. Luckily, I have enough fitness knowledge that I know kind of what my body needs and how to repair it and how to work the muscles. And I knew where the weakness was. It was hip tightness, hamstring tightness. Repaired that, did some stretches. Everything's realigned. I can go down the rabbit hole of fitness. You and I can do a whole separate podcast.
I was about to say, we sure could.
But no, yeah, that's what I do. And I think that's just do what you would always want to do, but work got in the way or life got in the way. Whatever that thing is that you were always like, man, I would, but I ain't got no time. Now's your time.
Do it right now.
You
I'm
all
trying to get better about getting back because I've had a YouTube channel since I was 17.
Yes.
And it's my number one problem always has been consistency. I've like gone off for a few months. I've gone back on. Luckily, since college, I've been pretty consistent now. But like, it's tough. You'll get into a spree of like a few weeks and I'm doing pretty good, even if it's just once a week. And then all of a sudden, something will come up. You're like, I got to put my priorities somewhere else right now.
Life happens.
Yeah, Oh, when I remember now, you said that, and it made me remember whenever you were talking about, setting goals for yourself and everything. So, have you seen the trend of doing the handstand against the wall and putting the shirt on?
Not until I saw the group chat today.
I know, I didn't see it until today either, and I can't do it. I can tell you, I can't do it. I tried for probably 10 minutes to do it, and I failed miserably every time. So I made that my goal. I'm going to post a video every day, and I want people to call me out, be like, yo, where's the freaking video? And I'm like, I don't care. I'm not doing anything to get views. I'm doing it because I want people to call me out and hold me accountable.
Sure.
I'm literally doing it every day until I can do it.
That is
the only reason I've ever posted anything on my Instagram story about to go work out or about to go on a run, because then I'm accountable and some number of people have seen it, and that's why I've started using like morning TikTok live streams sometimes to do some workouts, because I'm like, okay, here's the goal. I'm telling you all this now because if I don't tell y'all, I don't do it on a live stream, I'm gonna at some point give myself a reason not to do it.
Yeah, and I don't know if you get the same messages I get, Jennings, but it's super rewarding when somebody messages you, man, you motivated me to do it. I wasn't going to, but you inspired me. Please keep sharing. Please keep posting. So it's really not you patting yourself on the back, but those messages, they fill your soul, man.
And I'm sure everybody's received some kind of comment saying you're motivating me to start cosplay.
Oh yeah.
I'm motivating all the Sims out there.
I didn't do Maui until I saw Trey's Ralph. And then I was like, what? Us thick boys can cosplay?
Sure can, my bro.
And well. Oh, game changer.
It's
Motivating all the Sims out there.
All the simp. Simp life, baby. Yeah. Simping ain't easy.
Simping on Jen and Juice.
So I think that's it for the podcast, guys. We got all the topics taken care of. I think we've taken more than enough of Jennings' time, which he was fortunate enough. Whoa. What do you got?
Where can we find you, Jennings? I said Jennings. Jennings, where can we find you?
Where can we find you, Jennings?
First and foremost, yes, we just figured out, or we just had an accident. There are multiples of me, so it's Jennings, not just one Jennings. we're not singular, we're plural. You're always talking the us tense. I don't know how to say that
Extra.
But
I got it on the screen
everywhere,
for Insta.
I'm very lucky. It's Jennings Brower everywhere.
Oh, there you go.
I'm
It's on
very
the screen,
thankful that I
folks.
decided to keep all my social medias my name,
Instagram, TikTok.
so it's never just some random username.
I've started doing that. Once I did Juan's alter ego and found it was available everywhere. That's like my name everywhere now.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Anybody got some cosplay shout-outs?
Anybody? Or
People
Jenning.
want to shout out?
Yeah. Jenning, if you got anybody you want to shout out, now's the time.
Yeah. Here we go. Rainbow Haddock on TikTok, our good friend Julie. Midwest Avenger, our good friend David. Riders Watt Cosplay, our good buddy Michael, who apparently was on this podcast before.
He was my co-host for a year and a half.
I love that. French Fry Cosplay, Ava Lee, Queven Morris, spelled Caoimhe. Who else can I throw out there? Lolly Tiger Pony. Who else can I throw out there? Who else is in our freaking group outfit? Taya Miller, Jordan Johnson. All of these amazing people here. Tyree, it's _Tyree. Justin Noah cosplays. Just Jared cosplays. Jensen Avenger. That's like all like the Spidey Squad and then some. Super Sean D.
That's all my
That's
nieces
it.
and
That's
nephews.
it. We're good. I do have a question, one more for you, Jennings. Lady Quebec wants to know, where did you pick your contact lenses from?
So I was mentioning this briefly earlier in the podcast where we were talking about like TikTok having in the past had some questionable decisions and announcements or admittances. Where I've gotten all my contacts, but will no longer be getting my contacts moving forward, is TTDEYE. They're one of the first companies to reach out to cosplayers as soon as they started making on TikTok, saying, like, hey, let's do a few pairs, go shout us out a few times. But it's come to my attention from Ava and a few other people that are really good about their research on brands and their history, that there's been some issues with racism from the company, and so I will no longer be ordering from that brand. I'm actually currently looking for new contact lens brands, so if anybody has any suggestions,
Please shoot them over there. Yeah, that's why I don't eat Chick-fil-A. That's why I don't eat Chick-fil-A.
My Kitty's probably the best contact brand I've ever encountered.
Which one?
Oh My Kitty on Instagram.
Oh my kitty. That sounds like it could be a another type of
Very,
site.
very weak.
Hey, Jennings, just Google "Oh My Kitty." You won't regret it. It'll look
That's
good.
what I'm saying. I'm about to see some things.
Maybe everyone wear contact lenses.
That's why she said on Instagram. On Instagram, not anywhere.
Oh my kitty. It's about to be Carol Baskin's like Twitter handle.
Oh my God.
Hello, Kitty.
That is perfect. All right, guys, that's all we have for the live stream. We usually do a secret topic after this, but you have to download the audio version if you want to hear that. It'll probably be something super juicy. It'll be something that we could not ask Jennings in public.
So we have an audio only special juicy question.
Yeah, we got an audio only special juicy. May involve stripping. I don't know. We'll find out.
I don't know.
But it's audio. It's an audio.
Exactly. ASMR.
Audio
We'll get
stripping.
creative with it. ASMR. It'll be dirty. He will have the Lucifer voice on. He will do it all.
I'll be the Lucifer voice.
But you're gonna have to download the podcast. So anywhere you listen to on your Apple devices, Podbean, whatever other podcast platforms you use, Stitcher, Spotify. That's pretty much it. Yeah. Thank you guys for watching the podcast and the live stream.
Thank y'all for having me.